The boardroom smelled of polished oak and cheap perfume. Their voices still echo in my mind. "We've decided to terminate your position. Pack your things immediately." I remember their smirks, the hollow courtesy, and the way they believed I was cornered. I simply smiled at them and walked out without protest. Silence has always been my sharpest blade. I promised myself that Monday would be interesting. I wasn't always this quiet. Once, I was eager, loyal, to the man who built this empire from nothing. He saw something in me when no one else did. "You don't just follow orders," he told me. "You calculate." That's rare. I gave him my best years. His trust became my currency, his belief in me my armor. The rest of the board despised that loyalty. Jealous, dismissive, circling like vultures. Then came his illness, private, brutal, and swift. While he faded behind closed doors, the board grew restless. I stayed with him day and night. His final moment of clarity came in the form of a sealed document, signed with trembling hands. 51% of the company transferred to me. He didn't leave it to them. He left it to me. I expected hostility, but not this level of arrogance. A week after the funeral, they cornered me in the same boardroom where he once praised me. The chairman's voice was cold, practiced. "Your services are no longer required." Not one of them met my eyes. They assumed I'd beg, rage, or expose the stake he'd left me. That's what they would have done. But I simply nodded, packed my things, and left. They believed they had stripped me of power. They didn't realize they had only set the stage. Grief sharpens focus. I spent the weekend in silence, going through his papers, memorizing every clause, every legal string tied to the shares. I had majority control. Their authority was an illusion, fragile and temporary. But I didn't want just control. I wanted humiliation. The kind that lingers. So I waited. I let them announce my departure. I let whispers spread through the halls. "She's finished. She's out." I even passed former colleagues on the street, their pity disguised as politeness. Every glance fueled me. First, I called on the lawyers, quiet, discreet, loyal. The paperwork was flawless. The transfer airtight, witnessed, notarized, filed. I didn't need to fight for what I already owned. Next, I traced the rot. The chairman had siphoned funds into shell accounts. Another had manipulated contracts, funneling business into his brother's firm. They thought their sins were buried beneath layers of bureaucracy. But I had time. And access. Emails. Contracts. Signatures. I gathered them all like gemstones, proof of betrayal stacked neatly in my files. Finally, I waited for the quarterly board meeting, the one designed to impress investors. They expected to stand tall without me. What they didn't expect was to find me seated at the head of the table. The room froze as I entered. Laughter cut short. The chairman leaned back, feigning calm, his smile tight. "You're not supposed to be here," he muttered. I placed the document on the table. 51%. Signed. Stamped. Irrefutable. "My chair," I told him. He moved, pale, lips pressed thin. I let the silence stretch until it hurt. Then, one by one, I revealed the evidence. Embezzlement, fraud, conflict of interest. Their faces cracked like porcelain. Denials died in their throats. They knew I had cornered them. Investors leaned forward, their hunger barely concealed. They smelled blood. I offered a choice. Resign quietly, surrender your shares, and disappear. Or face the courts. Not one of them spoke. They simply signed the resignation letters my lawyers had prepared. Their downfall was silent, almost pathetic, exactly as I wanted. When the last signature bled onto the page, I surveyed the room. The same walls, the same polished oak table. But everything was different. The empire was mine now, not by accident, but by design. I remembered their smirks, their dismissive voices telling me to pack my things. I remembered how small they thought I was. And I remembered the CEO's weak smile in those final days, the weight of the documents he pressed into my hands. "Don't let them win," he whispered. I didn't. Revenge isn't loud. It doesn't need fireworks or outrage. It is the quiet undoing of those who believe themselves untouchable. It's walking out of a boardroom stripped of title, only to return a week later owning everything. They thought they buried me. They didn't realize I was the ground beneath their feet. Now, when I sit at the head of the table, their chairs empty, I feel no pity, only clarity. Power isn't given, it's taken. And I reclaimed mine with silence, patience, and precision. Monday was fun.